Yes, I know, I've already reviewed this one, but 2 reasons. First, lots changed since the early days, and second, any excuse. When I reviewed this game about 3 years ago when it first came out, the loading times were atrocious. Utterly abysmal. To get from the PS4 dashboard into the game's main menu used to take 2 minutes. That's before you even fired the game up. Nowadays, it's a PS4 game running on my PS5. It now only takes 15 seconds. You can start an adventure game or a creative game. The main difference being a creative game lets you bypass pesky things like oxygen, gravity, or even building materials. But where's the fun in that? First thing to note, this is Isaac Clarke's cousin. He has gauges on his back that show us how much oxygen and battery life he has remaining. Actually, how does he know how much he has left? Now, when I played this back in the day, the launch pad was just a convenient place to park your shuttle. I mean, it also gave you some stuff to get you started, but that was about it. Nowadays, the launch pad also serves as the mission hub, helps give newcomers direction and rewards you with extra items, blueprints and research points. It even gives you some stuff you're not supposed to have yet. Shh, don't tell anyone. Everything you build is 3D printed. Your backpack and the printers build everything you could possibly want. And a few things you don't. There are 4 key facilities, the first of which you should build ASAP, the smelting furnace. Other games go iron ore to iron. This game goes laterite to aluminium. Takes a bit of getting used to, it is a bit confusing. And yes, I noticed, it uses the American spelling. It's al-u-min-e-um. But first I need to find the laterite, and that's found underground. Your terrain tool has some nifty features. It can dig, but if you install a soil canister you can also build and even level the ground as you cut through it. Handy for building bridges and ramps. Tethers are also important. They link back to your base, providing oxygen and power. Also, they're handy for finding your way back out. It's incredibly easy to get lost, either underground or even in the forests. I swear, I went into the forest, went a short distance, turned around, came straight back out, and my base had gone. Where the hell am I? I see you, Laterite, right there. You learn to recognise stuff. Eventually. And now I have aluminium. What can I do with it? Well, build a tractor for a start. Slap a small battery on the front to make it last longer than 30 seconds. A research chamber is vital. You can't unlock blueprints without it. No blueprints, no stuff. Clay! I don't know why, but clay is ridiculously hard to find. Every bloody time. Is it just me? Once I have enough material, it's time for the soil centrifuge. The second key facility, the centrifuge turns soil into stuff. Compound, resin, organic, clay. I get most of my clay from this thing. I've now got a modest collection of stuff which may be strewn across the floor. It's fine, it's not going anywhere. And your mum won't insist you pick it all up either. Of all the mods in the game, I use the wide mod the most. It's great for digging tunnels you can drive down with the tractor. Key facility number 3, the chemistry lab. This combines base materials into composites. One small problem, the chemistry lab requires tungsten to make. Tungsten isn't found on this planet. In the past, you just had to take a flying leap into the unknown. These days, you can just cheat and check the launch pad. Tungsten is refined wolframite, which is on the moon. It don't do what I did the first time, launch straight to the moon and completely forget to take any stuff with you. I kind of got stranded up there for a while. It's a bit of a pain. I need a shuttle. Also need a thruster for the shuttle. Also need supplies to unpack once I get there. Okay, let's see. Batteries, tractor, printers, platform, shelter, oxygenator. Yep, that's it. I usually forget something, but I haven't this time. And launch. And there's the moon. Got to find a parking space I like. I usually go for one near one of the weird alien buildings. Welcome to the moon. Honestly, it's a bit shit, but we didn't come to sightsee. Now you can use the natural tunnels to get underground, but personally I find digging my own to be far more reliable. Not so much heading down there as coming back up afterwards. And I haven't even reached the bottom and I've struck wolframite. This is a good time to bring up the game's awesome interoperability. It's a word. I place the wolframite on the storage panel on board the tractor. When I get back up top, instead of placing the stuff one nugget at a time on the furnace, I just grab the whole panel and place it on the side slot. Boom! The furnace draws in the wolframite, converts it and then spits the tungsten back onto the panel. I don't have to do a thing. You'll find a lot of facilities are like this. It's the reason that large platform B is so popular. Big space for the facility in the middle and 2 side slots for the processing. And now, the chemistry lab. I don't know why, but I love the noise it makes. Now there's 12 new composite materials to make. Except there isn't. Because the last 6 require gas to make. And how do I get gas? With the 4th and final key facility, the atmospheric condenser. This requires iron to make. Yep, I'm off to another planet. But first, some more copper. And I've made it to the mantle. Whatever you do, don't look down. I said don't look down! This is the reason I've kept all the soil I dug out on the way down. Handy for building the bridge. And here's the copper. Back on the surface, built a medium shuttle means more storage space. Now I'm getting to the point where my base has more high power facilities inside it, which means I need more power. But more than that, I need to be able to store power, for when the wind and the sun stops working. I need lithium for the bigger batteries. Novus also has iron for the atmospheric condenser. 2 birds, 1 stone. Let's go. More storage space on the shuttle is vital. 2 things Novus doesn't have: zinc or copper. So no battery, solar or electrical production while I'm there. Anything of that kind I need, I have to take with me. landing on Novus. Even after all this time playing the game, I still get excited when I land on a new planet. Setting up the base, much quicker than before since most of my stuff was pre-made. So, iron and lithium. Ooh, found some lithium in a mountain, as you do. Got some iron from under it as well. And now to build the atmospheric condenser. It's usually worth building one on most planets, because each planet has different gases you can extract from the atmosphere. Here I want methane. One small problem with the condenser, and it's not really small. It's a major power hog. The small printer requires 1 unit of power per second. Medium printer, 2. The furnace, 5. Chemistry lab, 10. Atmospheric condenser, 20. Wow! So yeah, make sure you have a good power grid established first. Now I put my supplies on the shuttle and stop. Make sure there's a beacon on the ground before you leave. My home base has a large shelter. My base on the moon has a small shelter I got as a mission reward. My base on Novus has nothing like that. Like the shelters, the beacon can be seen from orbit. Otherwise you won't know which landing site your base is at. Back home, I use a power sensor and a solar panel to create lights that come on when it gets dark. Logic systems! Now the pinnacle of your manufacturing system is nanocarbon alloy. The most complicated material in the game to make. Requires no less than 5 materials and 4 gases. Which means you have to visit at least 2 other planets. Glacio and Atrocious. And wouldn't you know it, those are the 2 hardest planets to operate on in the whole game. Lovely. And speaking of lovely situations, my rover is buried in the ground. The game's nowhere near as glitchy as it used to be, but it still hiccups occasionally. My rover has basically fallen through the floor, so presumably it's underground somewhere? Oh, there it is. Now here's the thing. I want to head to Glacio to get titanium. But I want to use the large shuttle to do it. The only thing is that the large shuttle requires titanium to make. Incredibly, this is actually not a problem. Feed some useless crap into a shredder, get some scrap. Trade scrap for useful stuff. And titanium! And I haven't even been to Glacio yet. built the shuttle, made a metric shit ton of stuff, and left for Glacio. Little tricks that make your life a bit easier, like the auto extractor. Pulls resources from the ground without deforming the terrain, but its main selling point is that it seems to extract 5 billion times the number of resources you get with your own terrain tool. Don't ask me how, it's magic. And let's not forget to mention one of the more recent additions to the game, the railway. Okay, for me, at first, the railway was basically a novelty item. But then I realised I have an auto extractor. These two things put together are ridiculously effective. The railway lines channel base power over massive distances via the USB-style connections, and the rail cars are big enough to carry the extractor on the back. In its packaged form, but it can do it. The shredders can be made to work with auto arms, allowing you to feed a shredder with stuff and produce scrap en masse. Just make sure you install a kill switch. Those shredders won't let go of an item once you accidentally feed them one. The planet Atrocious, the hardest location to work from. It's the hardest because hostile plant life, extremely tough ground, and virtually no sun or wind, which means good luck generating power, especially if you're running the atmospheric condenser. Woo! You're gonna be there a while. Finally, I can make nanocarbon alloy. Yes! Nothing is beyond my capabilities now. Huh. It's gold. Is it weird I thought it was going to be blue? Oh, except I still have to research stuff. And the endgame stuff that uses nanocarbon alloy is very expensive research-wise. Doing research on other planets is a great way of getting around that problem. Research is worth more on the harder planets. And now I have a portable oxygenator. It's only taken me 5,000 hours to earn. There are so many things in this game you can play around with. This video will be 100 hours long if I tried to cover them all. If you're a bit of a purist, you don't have to engage with the mission system for extra rewards. You don't have to use the compass to find your way back to base. You don't have to use the latest additions. That said, a lot of the additions are awesome. The railway is a particular highlight for me. The various logic systems are sometimes handy. The auto extractor is a bit on the big side, but great at what it does. The storage solutions are many and the systems all work together. This game is the definition of plug and play. So, what did you think of my video? Leave a like or dislike down below. What did you think of Astroneer? Have you been playing it all this entire time, like I have, or have you only just heard of it? It's definitely worth a look if you like your survival games very much on the mild side. Leave a comment down below what you think. And for those of you who can't get enough of my dulcet tones, you can always subscribe. Or if you want to inflict my irritating voice on someone else, you can always share instead. See you next time.